They say winning ain't everything. Well, we don't have them type conversations over here, man. Had that conversation with the losers. We trying to win at everything we do. Even in the loss, we don't see defeat. We see a lesson learned. Straight up. Look, I came into this world in 1978. The doc looked me in my face and knew I was something great. 45, 42 Prescott, that's where I'm from. Grew up in the slums around dope dealers and bums. As humble as I was, I adapted to my habitat. In my own lane though, far from where they crashing at. Dumb bar graduate, the game I'd have mastered it. Served in the Navy, look, y'all don't know the half of it. Pops passed in '01, moms passed last year. I know they up in heaven smiling down, crying mad tears, cause they son making it. No telling where I'm taking it. My city been cursed, but I feel that I'm breaking it. Coached at Wayne High in 15 in one state. Seen the fork in the road and went straight. I know what I'm worth, I'm OG King CURT. Brooklyn Nets gaming crew legend, let's work.
Hey, this is OG King CURT, your host of the OG2CENTS podcast. I want to thank each and every one of you who tune in every Sunday. It's truly appreciated. Just make sure that you hit the subscribe button, like, and comment. Also, give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. Helps us out a lot. Descriptions for all available streaming platforms will be available in the description. Let's continue to stand against any forms of injustice and racism. And this episode is brought to you by Zenni Blocks. Make sure to armor your eyes with Zenni Blocks virtual clear blue blockers. It's important to protect your eyes from the harmful blue light from your digital screens so you'll have less eye strain and makes for better sleep and performance. Check out at Zenni.com/gaming or follow them at Zenni Gaming on Twitter and Instagram. This episode is episode 22. It's with Ev. He's the owner and founder of the WR Pro-Am League. He's also a scout and analyst for Warriors Gaming of the NBA 2K League. He's a true OG as well of the 2K Pro-Am community. I can go on and on. I mean, it's a cool brother. We had, at times a lot of people thought that our leagues were rivals, and definitely wasn't. We were doing something great for the community. Ev and his crew has, kept everything going throughout the existence now that the 2K League. So I'm definitely grateful for him, and thousands of prospects and players should be too. As usual, I don't like to do a lot of talking about my guests. So with further ado, Ev, how you doing today, man?
I'm good, man. Just glad to be on the show.
Hey, man, it's really a long time coming, man. Like we've done some work together. Had numerous conversations, via Twitter and everything like that. But now to actually just be talking and chopping it up and letting people hear about your story, I think is great. And I'm just glad to have you on. So just getting started, tell people your story and how you got to where you are today.
So man, essentially, WR League LLC, or better known as WR Pro-Am League. It started in 2015, man, around May or June of 2015. Actually, June of 2015 was our first season, but May is when we put everything together. So now I'm not sure if everyone knows this, but C's or YNGCs and I found WR in 2015. And the way it happened was we like playing the Jordan Rec Center in NBA 2K15. So we used to literally beat up on everybody we saw. So it would be us two, and then we would pick up a couple centers, a couple centers or a wing player. He was the PG, I was the shooting guard. And we literally would just go to the rec and beat everybody day. So at that point, we were like, this is getting boring. So what we did, we went on Facebook and we looked for competitive leagues. And there was one in particular, I forget the name right now, but it was ran terrible, man. It was literally terrible. Like, you literally would play a game and that would be it. There would be no stats. There would be, then the admin team was just disrespectful. So after a couple of days of dealing with that, me and C's and I, we just sat together and said, you know what, man, let's do this. Let's put our minds together and make something that we can enjoy. And at this time, it was just for fun. So we say it was a Sunday. I remember it vividly. It was a Sunday in May. So we sat there for hours just putting things together and writing rules down, because back then there was a lot of cheesing going on in the rec center, and we didn't want any parts of that. So basically, we sat there like for hours writing down rules, what we wanted, our expectations, our goals, and everything like that. And then after all that, and then we found My Stats Online. We found My Stats Online, and we saw that you can enter stats, you can have all teams and seasons and things like that. So after talking over it on a Sunday, we launched. I want to say we launched about 2 or 3 days later, registration, and man, and it was entirely fun. It was free. Every night I was sitting there entering stats upon stats, and then adding teams, and then it just got bigger, man. And I mean, basically, people came to us because of how professional we ran things. If you played a game today, your stats will be updated the next day. And people that violated the rules, they were punished. So basically, we just ran our stuff professionally, as opposed to the league we tried to play in previously. And also, the original name of WR was Willis Reed Pro-Am League. It was, we really couldn't think of a name, and like he was from New York, we just thought it rhymed. So we didn't think it would blow up like this at all. So it was Willis Reed Pro-Am League. Then when we started noticing everybody's, gravitating to us, and we didn't want to get into any legal issues, we just changed the WR Pro-Am League, and that's that. As far as season 9, we just had some differences and things like that, differences in how we wanted the company to grow. So he ventured off and started Militia League, and then I just kept WR going. Later on, hired Lux, and we just blew up from there.
That's great. I mean, I don't know. For me, I know I came into the community just looking to compete. Like this, all of us have similar stories. I just came in looking to compete. Never thought that I would be a part of something bigger. And like you, and what I always used to say, and it's funny because now, obviously we talking and we can laugh and joke about a lot of things, but the NPBA, it was I always loved y'all presentation. Like, I thought everything was sharp, from the website to everything. It actually, I think when people thought we were competing, it just made everybody step their game up and have something presentable for everybody to participate in. And that's what I like. I mean, and in competition, it should be like that. It should be all about making each other improve. And like now, to see where you're at now, man, it's like, obviously me and LT took on bigger roles in the 2K League, and we're still around, and I like the partnerships that we created with you guys, but I mean, now it's like, man, with the magazine and everything like that, man, and the video.
The magazine, man, it's kind of like a spin on what you did with the little articles.
So I love it. Like, I mean, And see, that's the thing, Ed, man. Like, at the end of the day, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you on, man, because like it's a lot of the air in the community that needs to be cleared in order for us to grow and elevate to where people want to be, and where ultimately all of us want to be at the pinnacle of esports and everything like that. But you can have friendly competition and still have a mutual respect for each other. And I, like I told, remember, I think I got on you one time. I was like, Ed, man, if y'all post anything on WR, you can tag me. Like, I'm a like and retweet it and everything like that. Because now it's a system for all of us. I mean, it's a platform for prospects to compete. Obviously, we have to view those prospects. So basically, with the NPBA being limited and you guys stepping up to the plate majorly and keeping everything going, we have to have that bond and respect for each other.
Right.
Being big ups to you guys. I mean, now, you're affiliated with a lot of other leagues. Talk about that for a second and how you've helped a lot of other platforms grow.
So the first platform that we're associated with is SL2K, what's now SL Pro Am League. They made a slight name change. They're a great group of fellas. It's led by Prophecy or Ryan. Basically, man, we saw what they were doing, and the thing about the 2K community, a lot of people, they don't appreciate they don't appreciate the hard work that's being put in by certain leagues. So we saw the hard work they were putting in, and the league was completely free. Actually, they just started charging. I want to say last month was the first season they ever charged, and that was because we saw the amount of work they were doing, and we said, hey, let's add on, let's add some prizes to this and make guys appreciate it more. Because the amount of effort that's being put into SL, SL is a prized piece in the community, and before recently, it seemed to me a lot of people didn't appreciate them. So when we saw them, we reached out, we connected with them, we said, hey, we'll help you, you help us, and we'll grow together. And that's basically what it was. So we hired Prophecy on to work with us, and similar thing with Next Up. Next Up is a smaller league, it's up and coming, but once again, same thing. We noticed they were working hard, and we said, hey, they actually came to us, but I saw they were working hard and decided to help them out. So now they're running efficiently and doing things the way we like it. And if WR ever grows to something to where it's like a farm league or something like that for the 2K league, that'll be great, because you'll still have SL, you'll still have Next Up doing the same things that we're doing, and very effectively.
No, and that's good. I mean, you need that. I mean, that's a part of the growth cycle that we talk about. I mean, and people do need to understand the hard work and time and effort that goes into it. I mean, the funny thing about it is, we all started from the free aspect of it,
right?
And it's crazy how people view you once you start charging, and because it's a service,
right?
And the amount of pocket watching and everything that goes into it, it's like one of those things. Like if you walk into Walmart and something is $9.99, and you go into Kroger, go into another Target, and it's $29.99. You can't argue with Target for their prices. Is either you go back and get the one for $9.99. So it's all about choice, and that's one of the things that used to make me chuckle here and there, is that, I mean, it's a choice. If you don't like it, nobody's forcing you to play. Like, and if you do, I mean, because like realistically, the bigger aspect of it is like you pay a certain amount, but you get an opportunity to win, 100 times what you put in, and it's like, how can you complain about that?
Exactly. And then, not to mention the exposure you get for playing the bigger leagues and things like that, and then the security, because you've been around the community. These new leagues, these pop-up leagues, they'll pop up charging $25 a team, and then halfway through the season, the whole admin team disappears. Now they run off with all the money, and what can you do? You could try to charge back on PayPal, but there's not much you can do. And the thing is, this happens so often because guys are willing to play in any and every league. And there's nothing against that, but I'm more secure. I feel more comfortable giving my money to somebody that's established, just not no random pop-up league. So, but that's just my take on things. At the end of the day, like you said, it's their choice. They'll play wherever they want.
Hey, exactly. That's why I think the scam word has been overused, because, I mean, you deal with people you trust. I mean, like for me, I played pre-draft in the WR and SL Pro-Am League. And, you go with who you trust and what you know, and until you see otherwise. I mean,
exactly.
And you can avoid all that. As I mentioned, you being a scout and analyst for Warriors Gaming, talk to us about it, how that came about it, and what all you do.
Well, essentially what we do is basically during off season, we scout all the players, because everybody pretty much plays in WR. So we're an asset to Warriors game due to the fact that everybody comes through us. So we have the stats on hand for mostly any player that the team is looking at. So our job is basically see a player. If I'm impressed by a player, I forward it to Warriors gaming staff. If they're interested in things like that, then we'll get the numbers for them, get the analytics and things like that. I mean, it's a lot longer process, but that's basically to simplify it. Myself personally, I deal with the majority of the players, so I can really comment on these guys' personalities, because Warriors gaming. The thing about Warriors gaming, they're looking for stand-up guys. They might be good players, but you don't want somebody that's going to destroy your locker room or be toxic all season long. No one wants to deal with that. So, and like I said, I deal with these personalities all day. So if they're interested in a player and they ask me about him, how is he, how does he compete, how does he react to losing, is he toxic and things like that. It's just that's the main thing I do, like personalities, and then get the numbers for him. And we've built a great relationship with the Warriors gaming staff over there. Rustin's a great guy. Coach Mike, when he first started, he reached out to me, trying to get to know me and things like that. And like I said, it's a great staff. I appreciate those guys, and definitely appreciate Rustin for the opportunity.
No, that's I mean, shout out to Rustin. I mean, cool guy. Got to know him over the time. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah, Rustin, he's great. He's a great guy, man. Great leadership. How it actually came about was he reached out to me. I believe somebody referred him. Somebody that played in WR referred him to me, and then we spoke a couple of times, and then after that, Lux and I spoke to him, and then we showed them what we could provide for them, and then just it became official. And since then, it's just been building on the relationship. And yeah, like I said, I just enjoy those guys over there.
Cool. I mean, and I wanted to bring that about because, for any potential prospects listening to the podcast and playing in the WR, you need to know eyes is on you at all time, and you never know what position you can be putting yourself into or taking yourself out of. So
right,
keep that in mind.
They don't understand that, man. I've had guys come in my DMs and just literally curse me out because their games were simmed because they didn't submit the screenshot, or like, you didn't play the game, man. What am I supposed to do? And they'll literally cuss me out. But then you'll go to their profile. It says season 4 prospect. Now, when a season 14, when a team contacts me and asks about such and such, I have nothing nice to say about you. You might have the number, but then I'll send over the conversation. Now you might have just shot yourself in the foot, just talking crazy to somebody.
Right. I mean that, it's definitely that definitely needs to be understood. It's one step at a time in reform and what we need to fix in the community as far as just the mindset and attitude and how we go about things. And I'm by any means, I'm not perfect, and right. I'm not saying anybody should be perfect, but definitely I think everybody needs to understand as this gets bigger, which
right.
is it will, you're representing more than yourself. And
exactly.
you have to keep that in mind at all times. Ev, man, this I just want to get your thoughts on the current state of the 2K community and where we stand right now.
The 2K community, man, I feel like it has a lot of room to grow. Definitely has a lot of room to grow. Personally, I would like to see us on on the competitive level of other esports leagues like the Call of Duty League and over what's that called again? Wow, can't think of the name.
Overwatch.
Overwatch, yeah. But yeah. So man, it has a lot of potential, but I think we are our own worst enemy. So we're preventing ourselves from growing because of a lot of the toxicity in the community, and guys just not admitting when they're defeated and things like that. It's just, I mean, like I said, lots of growth potential. We're kind of holding ourselves back.
You know what, Ev? It's like with me, it's like just thinking about the word toxic. Like, we have to start using words that fit when it's necessary. Because
right.
a lot of times, like I'm sure you played sports and everything like that, and people need to realize like it's emotion involved, and
right.
it doesn't have to. Everything doesn't always have to be deemed as negative.
Right.
Like, it really doesn't. Like,
right.
And I think a lot of times the misunderstandings and everything is what, which is crazy, because literally people take after a loss, a lot of people take it different, and they'll have a rage moment or
Right.
or whatever, and they're just literally upset at the fact that they lost, and people will take that sometimes out of context, and it's unfortunate. But like I said, it's just a lot of times we just need to understand that it's emotion involved when you playing a competitive sport, game,
Right.
or anything, and just how we view things. The other thing I want, like, what are some things that you think can happen in the move in the direction of growth and within the players and things and such like that?
Uh, as far as growth, man, I think players need to stream more. I don't care what position you play, man. You need to stream more. You need to put it out there that you're playing pro-am. Every time I go to Twitch, I would like to see NBA 2K20 or whatever version of NBA 2K be one of the top streaming games when I go to Twitch. You know, that means more guys need to stream, more guys need to create more content. I mean, every team only has one person streaming. Why can't someone else stream? Or why can't everybody on the team stream? You know, you watch the game from this person's perspective. You know, it's just like streaming is a major part of the growth. So you guys, in order for growth, we got to be able to be seen. So it's nothing for everybody in the community to stream to make that NBA 2K20 or Pro-Am to be one of the top viewed things on Twitch. It's just guys aren't, you know, basically it seems to me they're not motivated. They're not motivated to become Twitch partners. They're not motivated to become Twitch affiliates, or they just log on the game, play, and then get off. And that's preventing growth.
No, I'm with you. I mean, as somebody who's always been about brand building and different things of that nature, I think what I used to say is strong individuals make strong teams.
Right.
And that basically is what you're saying in essence, that if everybody's streaming and getting their name out there and building their own personal platforms, is when they come together. Even, you know, when you build that from the pro-am community and you come into the 2K league, your presence should heighten. You shouldn't be waiting until you get into a 2K league organization to try to build your name and your brand up. You
Right.
should be working on that as an amateur, and therefore being able to benefit when you get to the professional level.
And that's what I like about one of your players, Chalk. Chalk, he built the last, you know, since September, he's built his brand like crazy, you know, with the legend grind and things like that. And now with the 2K league, he's just getting bigger. Like I said, I just like that about him. So he's built his personal brand, and then even if next season things don't go right, he's still gonna have his brand. He's still gonna be there. He's a known person, and he gets a lot of attention. A lot of people are watching him when he streams and things like that. A lot of guys in the league don't take advantage of the fact that they're in the league. A lot of guys they come play their games. Once again, they get off and that's it. You don't hear from them in the off season. They're gone. They're not streaming. They're not playing. You're supposed to build your brand, and a lot of them are slacking in that department.
No, I definitely agree, and I mean that's something I try to tell the guys. You know, of course, my players and even other players that reach out to me, whether pro or professional, and it's something that you have to build from within or organically, and you really have to sit down and take some time and figure out, like, you know, who you are, what type of brand you want to have, and how you choose to represent it. I think that's important because obviously, I'm just a firm believer if you fake something, it's going to be for a limited time. Eventually, it's going to expire. But if you're truly being naturally who you are, it's unlimited to what you can do as far as building your brand. So now I think that's definitely important. You know, we're in season 3 of the 2K League. It's remote. What are some of your thoughts and what you've experienced during this time?
Personally, I'm not a fan of the remote play, you know, but due to current circumstances, you got to compete. So, I mean, I was looking forward to, you know, actually going to the arenas and visiting the stage, but obviously that can't happen. It kind of adds a little different factor due to the fact that it's remote play, especially with the East-West Coast delay and things like that. Actually, a lot of guys in the community are saying the Raptors have an advantage because they have the best internet. And I'm not quite sure if that plays a factor or anything like that, but I just know they're killing, man. They're doing their thing. They're, you know, Kenny, he's killing. The Raptors are what? They're 12-0? Yeah, they're doing their thing, man. They're coming to play, and they're leaving. They're leaving with the W every time. Outside of the remote play, man, I like what I'm seeing. I like what I'm seeing. To me, a lot of people are saying they're winning games, connection being better than everybody. But at the end of the day, man, you just gotta come and play and come to win. And they're doing just that. So they're number one for a reason. Kenny's killing, and then you got Tommy Cook. He's came in big for them. They're doing their thing up there, man. So, and also, I'm just excited the fact that the league is now on ESPN. I would have never imagined it'd be on the ESPN like that. It's just crazy to turn on your TV and you'll see NBA 2K League on every Tuesday. It's just and this next year it might be even bigger. So I'm just excited about it, man. It's a good season. I know I'm mainly watching the Warriors though. Mainly watching the Warriors. We're making that playoff push, sitting at 8-3, so we're doing pretty well.
No, I'm with you. The ESPN aspect is huge, and me personally, I think going forward, obviously if we get back to what's normal to us and playing in the studio, I think it carry over because definitely I think it would be great to see that aspect for the spectators and fans and everything like
Right.
that. See it from that point of view on television.
Right.
I think it can be something great, and
Right.
it can catapult us into the direction that we're trying to go. What are some things that you would like to see beyond what's happened over this pandemic with us playing remote?
Are you talking about the 2K League?
Yeah.
I definitely like to see, playing in more arenas, bigger crowd, bigger audience, and bigger arenas. The current, I haven't been to the stage in New York, obviously, but it doesn't look like it's that big. So, like last year, I watched the League of Legends finals, and it was a huge arena with a crazy halftime performance and a huge crowd. That would be great. That's what I see in the future for the 2K League, and we can continue to grow. That's what I see in the future, and I don't see why it can't happen. We have a huge community. It's just that we got to support and then encourage the growth of the league.
Now, for potential prospects looking to get into season 4, what are some tips that you would tell them, to help their chances and making it into the 2K League?
Man, post-draft is when names are made. If you're not known right now, you need to be doing something to get yourself known. So you need to be winning tournaments, winning seasons, winning the legit tournaments, legit seasons. I mean, there are leagues, little very known leagues. You'll get some props for, winning them, but it's going to be bare minimum. You need to win the big leagues. Every year there's one team that does it all. Like right now, In Control on Xbox, they've been killing. They won back-to-back WR. And they're probably going to go. I'm not saying they are, but there's a high chance they probably will go. They probably will three-peat. And a lot of guys on there, they're doing their thing like crazy. Chaos, he's doing his thing on there. Right now, if you're a prospect, I would do everything in my power to secure those wins, win tournaments, win leagues, win games, and then also sign up for everything from a big league. That's what I would say. And so by the time the league players get back, they'll have heard of you. And, they'll know you're a competitor. And, of course, they're going to try to challenge you and things like that. But win those challenges, too. Wages, win them.
It's funny you say that. I mean, the thing about it to me is that it's funny because you really have to be tough skinned to make it in the 2K Pro-Am community because people will try to downplay your achievements in post-draft because they'll say all the pros
It was just post-draft,
are in the league. And then pre-draft, is where your mark definitely can be made. A lot of the pros come back. And I said for the first time, about 3 years ago, is that we actually have a Pro-Am league. Like it's official because, a lot of people may not be aware, but like in a lot of different cities and they have Pro-Am leagues and it's basically where the pros and the amateurs, play. And like we've never really had that before the 2K League and now we have it. And people definitely have to take advantage of it. I can't stress this enough, and I'm sure you probably on the same page with a lot of players that may feel like they're unknown or not in the buddy or whatever. The goal is to go out and compete against these players that you feel or that are in a buddy or
Right.
have some acclaim. Stop trying to team. Don't worry about if they don't pick you up on their team. Compete and
Make your own
because
brand.
yeah, I mean, of course, I'm a GM and a coach, and players do have influence. I wouldn't say they don't,
Yeah.
but understand they don't have the final say, and that's what prospects really need to understand is that GMs and coaches and managements have the final say. Of course, players have influence. So if you maybe you may not be waking up certain players or whatever, but you may wake up a coach or a GM and increase your chances. And that's the mindset you got to have. I mean, as long as a lot of people keep thinking negative, they'll either keep standing still and watching people do what they want to do, or they'll never do anything at all. So I think that's important. As far as 2K21, like every year we get we get revved up. I think Chaka put out a tweet. Yesterday was about 2K. Whoever markets 2K really they need a raise because they sure do know how to get us excited every year, and that's
Every year.
fact.
Every year.
I mean they do a great job, and it's a hoop game, and it's our only hoop game. And I mean for
Yeah.
those basketball enthusiasts, we can't wait to see what the game is like. First of all, I want to ask you two questions. What systems are you getting? If not, either or both. And how do you think 2K21 is going to cater to us in the Pro-Am community?
Okay, let's see. I'm getting both consoles. I'm a PlayStation guy. I currently have a PlayStation, PS4, and Xbox One, but I'm gonna get both. But I'm probably mainly going to play on the PS5. I personally, we've been through this before. A lot of guys probably don't remember it or don't care to remember it. But you remember NBA 2K14 when they transitioned to the PS4 and from PS3? If you've played NBA 2K14 on the Xbox 360 or PS3, it is literally the exact same game as NBA 2K13. There was no difference besides the cover athlete and then little minor things. The only thing you could do is play quick game and 1v1 and blacktop and things like that. I think they're gonna do us like that again. So there might personally, I think there's gonna be no my career story. There's gonna be the one on current gen. Let's put it that way. On current gen, it's gonna be bare minimum. It's probably gonna be no pro-am, probably gonna be no my career, and then they're gonna expect you to buy next gen console in order to experience the full game. Because 2K14 on PS3 compared to PS4 was an insane difference. When I played 2K14 on PS4, I was able to go to the park, play guys, play anyone in the park, get dressed up, have full my career, my career story, and then went back to PS3 and it was just like nothing. So based on previous things with 2K, I expect the same. And if they do add a little bit more to the current gen, it's not a big difference between 2K20 and 2K21 on current gen. But I expect major things in 2K21 on next gen. As far as any pro-am, I can't see them doing anything of the sort on current gen because they want you to buy the next gen system.
I can agree with that. I mean, me personally, I know everybody wants the 2K League build in the game, and they're not alone. I mean, I can't
Right.
wait till the day that we see it too. Other than that, I mean, if we have to play what we've been playing, I want the simple things. Like nobody wants the long my career grind. Like
Right.
you hit us up for the micro transaction. Just let us buy our players.
Buy
Go in
badges.
and go in, yeah, and just go in and be ready to play. Like I mean,
Right.
and I think that could be for all modes. I mean, like considering the my player aspect of it, like the park and pro-am. Just let us buy our players ready made and be ready to go out and compete. And that would be great for me. As far as the what do you do when not running the WR?
Oh man, actually, currently due to COVID and things like that, not really working. But I'm a maintenance supervisor in General Motors, so I oversee people in the production line, and then like see maintenance. And if machine breaks down, they call my employees. When they call me, I call my employees to fix any issues and things like that. outside of WR, I got a couple other business ventures, flipping property and things like that. But yeah, just basically the working for GM, and then and I work out. That's about it. I used to play basketball, but I tore my Achilles last September, so I've been on injured reserve. And then right after I got better, there comes COVID. You know, so here we are.
Yeah, I remember that, man. I'm glad you had a healthy recovery
Yeah, about
in that process.
wouldn't wish it on anyone, man. Definitely
Now,
would not.
I was at a high school game one time, and I actually seen a referee tear his Achilles, and man, the
Oh,
pain.
wow.
Yeah, it was crazy, and actually, he was a friend of mine that I've known. I mean, he actually was older, but he just refed my games when I was a kid. So like to watch it, like it was painful to even watch. But like I said, glad you made it through that. As far as the future of the WR, man, like I mean, y'all got it. Like you got everything going on right now, man. You got the magazine. You got the partnerships with up and coming leagues. The promo is great. Ev, I just I want to applaud you. You and your crew.
Appreciate it.
Like I said, we've did the Razor Stock events. I'm sure that's something we're gonna keep coming time and time. And man, shout out to Black Frank White for
for sure.
bringing us together. Like it really, literally. It takes that sometimes, but it literally was something that should have been done a long time ago. And
Agreed.
it doesn't matter sometimes when it happens, as long as it happens. And here we are. I mean, but Black Frank White put the WR and NPBA together, and been some great events. I know Germ has been helpful in that. Shout out to him, and I just think it's great for the community that powers can come together and put on and use our platform for the greater good of people, trying to raise their stock and get to the league. At any point in time, have you ever considered like, I mean, well now, talking to you and getting to know more about you, but was it ever a point in time that you wanted a 2K league manager or coaching position?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not really particularly interested. I'm not interested right now. I mean, I have two kids. They're 5 and 4. Now if there was one in Kansas City, I live in Kansas City, Missouri, so Super Bowl champs. If there was a team based out of Missouri, based out of Kansas City, Missouri, I would probably be more interested. But as of right now, man, I feel like my career is fine where it's at, and I'm comfortable with the pay with that. I'm comfortable with the route WR is going, things like that. And I'm also comfortable with my position with Warriors Gaming. I don't really see the need for it, but I mean, if there comes a time where, I mean, don't get me wrong, I would take a position if it was in Kansas City and if I could manage my time properly and things like that. But as of right now, I'm not interested because I don't want to go elsewhere. And yeah, so I'm just really not interested currently, just due to my career and then my children. Yeah.
No, that makes sense. I mean, I know a lot of times, I guess we both at a point of our lives where, really reality has to set in, no matter what. I mean, you can want to do something, like to do something, love to do something, but if it doesn't fit into the course of everyday life, especially when you're a parent and different things like that, man. It's funny because you'll find that a lot of people who, well, not a lot, but I mean, like us guys who ran leagues and like we've always done multiple things at one time. It was never like just sitting around just doing one thing. And I mean, like I said, you definitely on the go. And like I said, it just shows improve your dedication and work ethic and to the WR and how it's expanded and everything like that. And I think I don't know if more people in the community spent time watching them and observing, and even connecting and asking questions about different people and their grind, they would go a lot farther instead of criticizing and assuming.
Exactly.
Because I think that's one of the things, and even in saying that, like we have a young community. Of course, the 2K league you have to be 18, but in the pro-am community, we have players as young as 14, 15, 16 sometimes.
And they're good. And they're good, too.
Right. And I'm saying that in essence is that we have to be, mentors to those players in everything in hopes to help perfect the community and the route that we want it to go. And I think it's critical. I like a lot of things that's going on right now. I think we have numerous media outlets, and like even with y'all helping up and coming leagues, y'all showing them the right way at how to do things, and that's only going to help because it's levels to everything. And everybody doesn't always want to start off at the highest tier of competition, and that's okay. You need the smaller leagues and the feeder leagues to help with that, and I think it's great. And the parts that I was talking about is like the media outlets, like you had the 2K Zone, who they put on a lot of different shows and a lot of different feedback. You have parents, you got the 2K Connection, Family Connection.
I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that.
So I like the interest in everything, and me, I'm not a big critic. Like, I mean, sometimes it's either you like something or you don't and move on. Like, I don't have to, just because I don't like something, I don't have to sit and bash it or talk about it.
That's a problem. That's a problem within the community. They don't like something, they're bashing. Just go about your day, man. There's more things you could be doing. Go learn how to dribble better, as opposed to, oh, this league did this. Oh, this league's doing a double elimination. I don't like that. So now I'm going to spend my whole hour and a half bashing that league or that tournament because of it. And I catch guys doing that from time to time. If it's someone I communicate often, I say, man, let them do what they want. You don't have to play. It's your choice. If you like them, then sign up. But if you don't, just mind your business. It's not my business,
Yeah, definitely. And that's always been my approach. I mean, if you have a choice, I mean, and at the end of the day, if you don't want to play in certain leagues, don't. And the ones that you like playing in, do. I'll tell you, like, of course, I love doing what I'm doing now. Never. I can't say I've foreseen it ever happening. I mean, I was having a ball running leagues and different things like that. The one thing I will commend you on, Ev, is this new generation of players in the community. The problem, I guess, like, when we were dating from 2015 to now, what I call the first generation players, like the Dimes, the O'Larrys, and players like that, their ego wasn't towards us. It wasn't towards the league. It was towards each other competing.
Each other, yeah.
Like now,
exactly.
But you have a bunch of unproven players now that just attack any and everything, and that's the only thing that gets annoying. It's a big headache because at least I'm not saying that any of it is valid when it's used negatively, but at least if you're gonna be proven. If you're going to have this over-the-top ego and always have the nerve to try to bash something or talk about something negatively, that's the only thing. Other than that, I mean, it's. I try to tell players, it's thousands of 2K players. Like, I mean, literally. And just because you don't know who they are doesn't mean they're not any good. I mean, quite naturally, I think what people need to realize with the 2K League is young. And we're only 3 years in, and that just because you may think you're better than somebody, or you may be better than somebody, keep grinding and keep believing in yourself and keep proving it over and over, because being good at something is not something you just prove one time.
Right.
And I think a lot of times that gets misconstrued, man. Ev, I truly enjoyed this conversation, man. And
same here.
Definitely be in touch. I want you to let everybody know how they can get in touch with you and the WR.
Okay. I'm Ev. Follow me on Twitter at EvThatGuy. I'm also on PS4 and Xbox One at EvThatGuy. Also follow WR Pro Am League at WR Pro Am League, and then our draft league at WR Select. We're constantly bringing, events, tournaments, seasons, and things like that. We're also known for the largest prizes in Pro-Am. Actually, this year in 2K20 alone, we've paid over in 2K20 alone about 140,000 this year. So we've paid out about $140,000 in prizes, just WR in our tournaments alone. So we're definitely getting guys paid in the 2K community for sure.
Most definitely. If you're looking to compete at the highest level in the best league, and yeah, I said it. This is OG King CURT from the MPBA, and I said it. The WR is the #1 Pro-Am league in the world.
I wasn't gonna say it.
It's all love, Ev. Like you people have to realize when the torch has been passed,
right?
And that's where it's at. And I have no shame in that. And like I said, it's all love, man. The WR Pro-Am League is the #1 league in the world. If you're looking to compete at the Pro-Am level in hopes of becoming a 2K League prospect, if you're not playing there, you're cheating yourself.
Fun fact. Last season 3, there were 67 out of 68 players that got drafted. All of them, 67 out of 68, all played in WR. Either in 2K20, all of them.
Yeah, you have to. You have to. I mean, and that's not nothing against another platform like top tier leagues, where the competition is at. Like it's all about right. Militia League. I mean, they have their moments. I think a lot of times the weekly tournament platforms get hit and everything like that. But the leagues though is me personally, if I was a player, I like the tournaments. But people love the league. Yeah, they love the leagues though. I mean,
the casuals, they love the leagues. The guys that are comp, which are going to win everything, they don't love the league because all they want to do is play that tournament and get their money quick. But the thing about a league is more casuals are going to play in the league because a tournament is you're literally one and done. You play your 3 games in the first round, you lose, you just spent $50 to play one team. The league, you have the league, you're going to play minimum of 20 games against every team in the league. So it's more appealing to a casual. And for the comp, all you have to do is play your bare minimum 20, and then you're entered into the playoffs. And potential to win the large prize at the end.
And those who listening, don't let's stop getting sensitive about everything. Casual is no disrespect. Casual is a gamer that doesn't compete at the same level or interest as a competitive player. That's it. Not saying that they're not good or anything like that. It's just their interest level is different to the respective game and sport. That's it.
Yeah. A competitive player is probably playing 12, 16 hours a day. A casual player is probably playing a couple hours when he's off work. So, there's a difference. So, a casual player, they'll come play a couple WR games, go to sleep, get ready for work the next day. Comp player is on all night. So,
right.
But like Kurt said, no disrespect to anyone, but it is what it is.
Exactly. Hey, so once again, Ev, I want to thank you for coming on. Everybody, make sure you sign up for the Pro-Am League. Follow the OG2CENTS podcast at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. Follow me on social media at Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at OG King CURT. You can go to www.ogkingcurt.com for everything OG King CURT and the podcast. Shout out to Dave at the 2K Zone, Strider Visuals, Box Graphics, and Cy Evermore. Check out the 2K Zone on Twitch and Podbean as well. Catch me on EsportsXTRA Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays with host Larry Ridley, the crew Renee Montgomery, Darren Worrell, and producer extraordinaire Kevin Mamuzet. And just remember, if it makes sense, it's an OG2CENTS. OG out.
Let's put this work in, fellas. And much, much, much love to the entire 2K community for always showing me love. Without y'all, we wouldn't be here. Yeah.